Hi guys, Lenny here from Strong Dads, and in this video I want to talk about nutrition mindset strategies, how to think about nutrition and what you do need to be bothered by and what you don't need to be bothered by so you can save time and not listen to all the bullshit that's out there. I know what it's like when you get confused about your nutrition, you don't know what to do. On Facebook and online you're seeing all these things. Should I go low carb? Should I go intermittent fasting? Should I go keto? Should I go this, that, blah, blah, blah. And there's no one really that explains it, I don't think, honestly, or there are lots of people that do, but there's lots of people that don't as well. And so this video should help you to cut through all the BS and make sure that you know what you should and shouldn't be doing and what the important factors are. So first of all, don't believe the hype. There is no one nutrition plan that is the best. Intermittent fasting isn't the best. Low carb and paleo isn't the best. There's no best nutrition plan out there. You need to find out what works for you, but there are some principles by which you need to stick to in terms of reaching your goals. But that can be done in a multitude of ways. So don't believe this myth that there is this one magic program of nutrition that will work for everyone, because it's just not the case. You need to do what works for you in terms of consistency. You need to be able to consistently do this over a long period of time and make it part of your lifestyle. So if this is something that you can't see yourself doing forever, or doing forever with a bit of flexibility, which is one of the things I definitely am a big proponent of, then don't do it. You know, if you can't stick to intermittent fasting, if you hate doing it, you're not going to stick to it. And the consistency of doing it over the long term is what's going to give you those results. So make sure it works for you, it works in your life, and make sure that you're happy doing it for the long term. Okay, so the next point is that you need to track what you're doing. So you're only going to know what you're doing or whether it's working or not by tracking what you're doing. And using MyFitnessPal, using these sorts of apps are invaluable in just seeing where you are. If you've got a nutritional strategy that you're using and it's not working, then you need to track what you're doing so you can figure out why it isn't working, because calories in versus calories out is the way of the world. Basically, that is how it works. If you consume less calories than you expend, you will lose weight. Now, obviously, if you're trying to maintain muscle mass, you want to protein levels want to be reasonably high. I've done a video on this in terms of a full how to track calories for different goals. So if you go on to the, we'll put a link somewhere up here somewhere. So just go onto that and have a look. But essentially, we want to track what we're doing so that we know where the pitfalls might be. If you're not tracking because you can't be bothered, but you're not making progress and you want to make progress, then start tracking so you know what you're doing. Then you can make adjustments based on the information and data that you've got. Okay, next point is pretty obvious, but don't expect it to be easy. So just because you've got these strategies in place, it doesn't mean it's not going to be hard. It doesn't mean at times you're not going to feel hungry. And it's having things in place when that happens that you can go to. So it might be cutting up some carrot sticks so that you can munch your nose when you feel hungry with, and obviously they're very low calorie. It might be having nights where you have off the diet, so you might intermittent fast in the morning so you can have the nights off so you can just kind of chill and do what you need to do and enjoy the foods that you want to enjoy. It might be, again, choosing to have more of your food in the evening so that actually that's when you feel more hungry. Choosing foods that are still giving you that sweet kick. For example, for me, I'll often have like bananas and raisins, mushed up bananas and raisins inside, or frozen banana mushed up with raisins in, because I really like some sweet stuff in the evening. I've always had that craving. And so by having that, I factor that into my calories. So I make sure that's factored in, because raisins and bananas are quite high in calories. But I'll factor that into my daily calories so that I can have something sweet at the end of the day, and that staves off some of those feelings. Could be that you use things like coffee when you feel hungry. So there's having different strategies in place for when you get hungry, because you will, it's not easy losing weight. That's going to mean that you stick to those nutritional guidelines and plan much, much better. So drinking loads of water is a classic one, because if you're dehydrated, you will feel more hungry. So if you every time you feel hungry, smash a pint of water, and you'll find that that will stave off the hunger for longer. Also, everyone knows that having a good quantity of water and having enough water is good for you. The other thing you can do is get like a big 2 litre bottle of water and then fill that up at the start of the day, and then your aim is then to drink 1 to 1.5 of those per day. And you can actually then see, you have a target basically. So once you have a target, it's usually a lot more easy to actually reach that, and you know if you're doing it, you know if you're not doing it. Whereas if you're just going for a glass every now and again, you don't really know how much you're drinking. So I think doing that can be a great strategy for, you know, implementing more drinking of water in the day. So it needs to be a lifestyle. You need to be able to do this for the rest of your life. Obviously there's flexibility there, and I talked about that on some of my nutritional videos, but you basically want to find a type of eating that fits you, that fits your lifestyle, that means that you can continue to do that forever, because your consistency over time is going to be what gives you the best results. So you need to make sure that you just find something that works for you. If that's intermittent fasting, great. If that's low carb, great. If that's paleo diet, brilliant. Just do something that you feel that you can stick to for the rest of your life, because a lifestyle change is the biggest factor that we know is going to give you those results. So this is quite a contentious one, but I often find with people that it is the closest people to them that are often holding them back. And so sometimes you might have to sit them down and have a conversation with them about how important it is to you that you reach the goals that you're trying to achieve. So that might be your partner, wife, spouse, whoever it might be, you know, not supporting you, eating foods with you that are just not part of your plan and are really off track, having a go at you when you don't want to eat certain foods, and just generally being a negative influence on your weight loss targets. A lot of people don't like seeing other people change and do well. And so they'll say, oh, you were fine before, you know, you look a bit skinny now, or whatever it might be. You have to do things for you and for what you feel is going to make you happy and confident and comfortable in your own skin. So I think that people who are negative influences, you need to see, especially if they're close to you. If they're not close to you, you can just kind of ignore them and just, you know, you're not going to see them that much. It's not really too much of a big deal. But if it's people close to you, then you can't really, you know, get around that apart from having a conversation, just making it clear how important it is to you to reach these goals, because that's going to mean that hopefully they're a lot more supportive, and if they're supportive, you're going to find it much easier to get through this process. So part 1 of your actionable steps for today, you're going to get MyFitnessPal or some way to track your calories, and you're going to track your calories for 3 days. You're going to track your calories for 1 weekday and 2 weekend days, or 2 weekdays and 1 weekend day, but make sure that you're including the weekends so that you can see, is there anything about the weekend days that's knocking off what you're doing in the week. Then you're going to have a think about the different approaches to nutrition, and you're going to write down what approach you want to take. So are you going to go for intermittent fasting? Are you going to go for a low carb? Are you going to go, what approach are you going to take? And then stick to that for a good 4 to 6 weeks and see how you feel when you're doing that approach. Next thing you're going to do is think of 5 low-calorie foods that you can have when you're hungry. So in those times of real hunger where you're really struggling, what are some foods that you enjoy eating but are low-calorie that you can have in those times that are not going to set you back too much, but are also going to stave off that hunger for a little bit longer? Buy a big bottle of water, as we talked about earlier, so that you can replenish that in the day, and then you can know how much water you're drinking per day. And finally, if this is relevant to you, sit down with your closest person to you and just explain how important the goals are to you and how important this journey is for you, so that you can make it clear to them, they can be more supportive, and hopefully you can then feel happier and more content through this weight loss journey. Hopefully you enjoyed that video, guys. If you did, then as always, give us a thumbs up, give us a like. It really does help these videos to improve and get more people watching them. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because you get loads more videos like this coming. Obviously, let me know as well what your nutritional mindset strategies are. Are there anything that you think about in the day, or you think about during the week, or that you put in place that really help you? How do you do it? Because the more info we have on the comments, more discussion we have, hopefully the more we can help out dads in their journey to lose weight and build muscle.